I'm pausing. Hi guys, I'm gawking and pausing. I'm Megan.
I'm Stephanie. She's crazy lady.
With Barn Besties.
Yes.
With Farm Fresh Advice. And we are here at Julie's farm checking out all the things. And we're in the wash rack.
Because you stink and you need a bath.
Oh my.
It's getting dirty, isn't it? So let's
You
check
see
it
how
out.
it devolves?
Yeah,
into
it
just
did.
Insanity.
I
and
opened the
shenanigans.
So check it out.
This is great. Love it.
Drain. How's the drain working for you? Because I know at every
Drains
barn,
are.
drains are a problem.
They are.
And look what we see in there. We see the problem child.
Yeah. Hay.
Pieces of hay.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
If it isn't manure clogging the drain, it's always the hay.
Yeah.
Or horsehair or anything else.
Right.
So,
So-
can you pop those open and clean them?
Yes, it can pop open and be cleaned or, rotted or
Yeah.
whatever, the
Roto-rooter.
roto-rooter. Yeah.
Right.
Have not had to do that yet, knock on wood.
Yeah, I know, right? Knock on
Like,
wood.
yeah.
And I love your cement.
Yeah.
Is it slippery at all?
It is.
It is.
So the cement is a story. When the building was built and the concrete was poured, they polished it smooth.
Ooh.
They knew this was a horse barn, but somebody
Polished it.
didn't tell the guy with the polisher.
Well, he probably didn't know what it meant to have horses, and he probably thought you wanted it super,
Pretty.
super slick, and so like you could broom it to a beautiful,
Maybe.
sparkling shine.
It was supposed to have a broom finish, and it didn't. So I had to have a company come in and grind these grooves.
Mm-hmm.
So the little diamonds, areas tend to be a little slippery sometimes, but the horse's hoof eventually like slides and then hits a groove and they stop.
Mm-hmm.
So before the grooves were put in, my big gelding fell down twice on the concrete.
No.
Yeah. It was terrible.
And getting them up on concrete is scary.
Oh.
Yeah, he got up right away on his own, but
Well, you're lucky he wasn't slipping and sliding. Because
yeah.
I've experienced that. We had to get winter blankets out.
Oh,
Any kind of, saddle pads, coolers, just to get them something because it was so slippery.
yeah.
They were doing this. They couldn't
Yeah.
get their footing because they try to push off and their foot would just go
Yeah.
and down they'd go again, and it was like, I mean, it was full blown panic.
My horses are all barefoot, so I think that helps.
That helps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the grooves make it a little hard to keep the concrete clean,
Okay.
Sure.
but it's safer for the horse, and that's the whole goal. So,
Absolutely.
Safer is
Yep.
better.
So yes, we do recognize this. If you guys haven't seen this, we
Yeah.
talked about this on a prior video, which was her grooming stalls, but these are dog toys.
Yeah.
And
They are.
this is something for the horses to chew that's not the cross ties.
right.
And I love the wall. You can
Yeah.
spray the wall.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
can.
And there's light.
And special
Check it
Yeah, we want to
fancy lights.
Tell us
Fancy
about the
lights.
lights. I love this.
Yeah.
This is
For if
awesome.
you're medicating legs. Oh,
Yeah.
you can see.
Because I know when I shampoo a horse and then they dry and I get on, I missed a spot. Like there's always some kind of strip
Because you
I
can't
forgot.
see.
Yeah. this
Yeah.
is perfect.
And if, heaven forbid, but let's say horses are dangerous to themselves. If you got a vet needing to suture something on the lower leg, boy, you can actually
Exactly.
see what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this was actually a suggestion from my vet.
Yeah.
So,
So tell us about the lights, because obviously this is a wash stall. Water,
Yeah.
we've got water situation. Water and electricity are not a good.
they're not a good mix
Thing.
usually, but
No.
these are, I don't want to say watertight, but they are built to be
In a wet environment.
in a wet environment. And so far, so good. We actually hose the walls to clean, after we wash our dirty horses, and they have not gone out yet. They're, of course,
Are they LED?
they are.
Okay, nice.
And these little clips just keep there's like a rubber seal, and
Sure.
these clips keep the cover on, and so far, so
did your
good.
electrician find these lights for you?
Yes,
or did
he
you
did.
buy them? Okay.
The
Nice.
electrician, yep. I told him what I wanted and what I wanted them for,
Sure.
and this is what they found for me.
I love it. I mean, I think that's
I
awesome.
think it's great. It's almost blinding. I need my
It
kind of
is
is.
great.
Yeah.
And they asked if I wanted them on top too. And I was like, no, could you imagine like hosing your horse and like looking right into that light? That would be
You have to have
blinding.
every single light on its own switch to be able to like turn that off.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't think I needed.
I mean, it
higher
makes it
ones.
really, really bright in here, but it's
Yeah.
really, I'm just thinking for farrier vet, whatever needs of
Yeah.
like,
Perfect.
when you're down there and you can't see anything, it's like, oh, this is perfection.
Yeah.
It's really lovely. So what size is this space that we're in?
It is 10 by 10.
Yeah, it feels very spacious.
Yeah, and it was one of the things.
Too big and they can turn themselves around and
Yeah.
get in trouble.
Yeah, my horses are bigger, so I definitely wanted a big wash stall with a very high ceiling. I've boarded in some places that don't have a ceiling, and then when you're trying to spray their face or whatever, you're like shooting water into somebody's stall
Right.
or whatever.
Into the aisle and everybody's going, hey!
Yeah,
And
but
you don't want the other aisles getting wet because then you got a wet floor all over
Exactly.
the barn.
Yeah.
and then the other option, or not option, but the other thing that I was trying to avoid was too low of a ceiling, which again, I've boarded at places where my horse's ears are touching
Right.
the ceiling, and it's like a cave, and it takes forever for you to, convince your horse it's okay to go in there.
Yes.
You know,
I've been in that
so
situation too. Yep. These are the things we think about when we want to share with our audiences. Things to think about when you're building.
yeah,
And you have hot and cold
hot
water.
and cold.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
there will be a shower boom, a hose
Ooh,
boom, so
Sure. Yeah.
that you can like
Move it around.
spin it around the horse.
Is this going to be an issue? Obviously, we're going into winter in Wisconsin. Will this be an issue that you're going to need to shut this off, or will this be on year round?
It will be on year round because the barn is heated.
So,
So
And how high do you heat it to?
the temp.
ideally around 40.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Okay.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Does this
it's-
have an emergency shut off behind here? Like if something, let's say you get a naughty pony takes us out. You got water spraying. Do you have a shut off somewhere that can?
that one actually does not.
Okay.
It does not have a shut off.
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
the thing. That's
Horses. That's all you
That's
got
the
to
thing
say.
for her. Yeah.
It's like if there's one thing that they know how to do, it's they find that one flaw.
They try to kill themselves and they try to destroy
And
everything.
they're like,
on the way out.
you didn't think of this. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to teach you a lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So luckily the shut off valve is just
Around
across
the corner.
the aisle.
Yeah. So personally, having had personal experience, my suggestion is have a way to have an emergency shut off. Just think about
Worth
in
it.
your bathroom
Yeah.
at home, your toilet has a shut off, and that is for a reason. With horses, you're gonna want to consider something like that. But
Yeah.
I love this. I'm
Yeah.
jealous. I have envy.
My hose bibs in the aisle do have
Shut offs.
emergency shut offs.
See?
In case somebody were to take that out
Yeah.
with the
The
manure
little
spreader. Yeah.
You gotta have it.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Not for here. So that,
Thanks a lot.
Knock
Scott.
on wood.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
yeah, now more things to keep me awake at night.
Well, hopefully nobody's bathing their horse at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
down here.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, do you have barn hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the posted hours are 9 to 9,
Mhm.
basically. But
That's generous, yeah.
people need to come in early for a vet because
Right.
that's the only time they can come, or a lesson or whatever, or stay late, or I don't mind as long as I know who's in the building.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And they know to shut off the lights.
Right.
Yeah.
People, when you're a boarder and you're the last one in, hopefully your barn owner has had that conversation with you when you first come in, but shut off the lights.
Oh,
Yeah.
Close the doors. Anything that you opened, close it behind you. But yeah, no, I love this. Anything else, Miss Megan, that you can think of?
no, I think it's great. Let's
Yeah.
go check something else
All
out.
right. Well, before we go, we're going to say, please hit all the buttons.
Hit the button.
Hit that like, and of course, hit the subscribe. Any questions, comments you have, we'd love to hear them. Right down below in the comment section. So thank you, Miss Julie. We are on to the
You're
next
welcome.
video in her barn. So we'll see you on that one. Bye, guys.
Bye.